I'm ready to go, Lauren.
Yeah, I've already started. See what he says, and yeah.
Not always because of money. Sometimes it's because of money.
Hey guys, it's Lauren. I have a bit of a different style of video for you today. Instead of showing you chores on our farm and what's going on lately, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Steven and meet with him. So who I mean by Steven, you've seen him in a previous video a little bit. He helped us pick rocks here a couple weeks ago, and he is from the Netherlands, and he lived with us last year for 3 months in the spring summertime, and he was doing a co-op kind of placement with for his schooling, and he chose to come to Canada, and then he went home for a short period, and now he's back again. So while he was here last year, he was working primarily for Eddie's brother Dave, and Eddie was still working with Dave at this time too. And I haven't touched too much on this, but Eddie and his brother used to work together on their family's dairy farm, and then they split up a year ago in a good way. And so Steven was here to help with that transition, which was super amazing, and he's such a good guy. And now he is back, and so he's living and working with Dave. And so I'm going to talk to him about why he wanted to come to Canada in the first place, and then why he wanted to come back. So we'll get the inside scoop on that. And we live in an area here where there are quite a few, and this is not scientific research, this is by my observation, quite a few dairy farmers coming from the Netherlands and farming in our area in southwestern Ontario. So this is kind of an inside scoop on why some of these farmers may be coming to Canada and what the differences in farming are between Canada and the Netherlands. He might say I'm kind of like a second mother to him, or like a Canada mom to him, but I am way too young to be his mom, so I don't know. I'm not into that description. I would go with like maybe, you know, cool older cousin or young aunt, but I'm gonna ask him what he would describe our relationship as and see what he says. And yeah, so stay tuned, check it out. Alright, so this is Steven, and first I'm just going to ask, how would you describe our relationship?
This is my young mom, my second mom.
He said mom. So anyway, this is Steven from the Netherlands, and I'm just going to start by asking you, why did you decide to come to Canada?
Last year we had to do an abroad internship through a school in the Netherlands, and I decided to come to Canada. I have a neighbor that lives in Canada right now, works in Canada, also on a dairy farm, and he set me up with Eddie's brother, Dave Coster. And I worked there for 3 months, and I lived with Eddie and Lauren for also 3 months. So. While I was here, some of the main differences I noticed was climate, obviously. The summers are hotter and the winters are colder. Farm size and equipment size. Fields are way bigger here. Not specifically the herd size, but just the acres. The land base on average is bigger here, so that's why you guys also need bigger equipment. I'm not used to that. And also feeding cows is different here. I see the rations here are mostly TMR and corn alfalfa based, and in the Netherlands that is different. We usually grow grass. We have 40% corn silage and 60% grass, and then we add all the other goodies that the cows need in a pallet, and we feed that separately. And you don't see that as much here. So those are some of the main differences I saw here.
Okay, so you did your internship here for 3 months last summer. You enjoyed it, you made some friends, which was nice, and then you went home for a short period. And what made you decide to come back?
I wanted to experience Canada a full year and see if it's something for me in the future to maybe be farming here, because back home in the Netherlands the future for farming is not that certain. because the government is planning on buying out farms forcefully, and because we have a small home farm at home with 40 cows in a tie stall with a lot of higher land. It's hard to see a future for me in that. How my dad is farming right now is going very well, but it's not certain if I can take it over yet, so that's why I came here for a year to see if it's something for me in the future. So we have 40 cows in a tie stall, 35 young stock, and we farm about 100 acres of land. A lot of the equipment work we do ourselves. I used to do that a lot together with my dad, because now that I'm here, my sister steps in to help my dad out. She does that after school or in the weekends, and that's how they keep the field work going. So at home we do a lot of breeding. We like good quality Holsteins, and we do some shows as a hobby. We don't really make money off of it, but it's just good fun and good family time. Some of the bulls we like to use are from Canadian companies like ST Genetics or CMEX, Select Sires, those kind of companies. And we like Canadian genetics because cows are usually a little bit more typey, and we like a nice, long, good-looking cow.
So one of the things that I found really interesting that you told us when you were living with us is that the difference between how you sell milk in the Netherlands. So in Canada we have the quota system, which governs how much milk each farm can sell. Basically just protects the milk market in Canada. But in the Netherlands it's entirely different. They don't have a milk quota system, it's an open market, and Stephen will tell you a little bit about it.
So you guys in Canada, you have a quota system based on butter fat, and that's how it's decided how much milk you shipped. We used to have a milk quota system based on protein, a European quota system. That got dropped in 2015 by the European government, and it became an open market. Then now we have an open market, so the price is based on the demand and not on how many kilos a year you can produce. But then, because we were starting to milk more cows and having too much manure in such a small country, the government stepped in under pressure of the European government, and they put on a nitrogen-based quota system. But it doesn't really have anything to do with the milk. It has more to do with the manure production. And it comes down that per cow you produce so much kilos of nitrogen a year, and that's based on the milk production. So let's say your cows do 10,000 kilograms a year on average, your herd, it's based on herd average, then you need 49 kilos of nitrogen rights per cow. And the price can fluctuate between 150 euros to 260 euros. It depends on the demand of the rights. But basically you're just buying air, because the rule's only legal till 2028, and after that we're not sure. So if you buy rights, you're not even sure if you're going to keep them. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for explaining that.
Your system in Canada is more stable, more reliable, and that's one of the big differences. A lot of farmers in the Netherlands are frustrated because every time new things or bigger changes, new rules, it goes up and down, and that's one of the main reasons that Dutch farmers are moving places, is because of frustration. Not always because of money. Sometimes it's because of money, but it's more because they're sick of how the government goes from one side to the other side and then up and down.
Well, thanks so much for letting me do this little interview with you,
Yeah,
for sharing why you decided to come to Canada, and we're interested to see what your future has in store for you. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking out till the end. I hope you enjoyed that kind of different style video. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions for Stephen, and if you'd like to see any other particular videos, I'd love to know. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting dairy, and I hope to see you next time.